Hey guys, welcome back to the Choice of Motherhood. A couple more weeks, and not even a couple more weeks, one more week, and the Choice of Motherhood is no longer. not going away completely, just changing things over, which if you're watching this video, you already probably see that the channel name has changed. Instagram and stuff is changing over. It takes a long time to change things over. Bear with me. But July 1st, everything will be changed over. So make sure you subscribe to follow the changes and all the exciting new content I hope to have. Today's video, if you haven't seen on Monday's video, I did a video on 5 situations I am glad I am childless. This is the opposite, 5 situations where I wish I had a child. And yeah, so let's get started. No particular order. Number 1, traveling. So I had mentioned in my other video about traveling and how easy it is to travel without a child. However, there's a lot of times with traveling that I wish I had a child, because there's just something about seeing their reaction to things that totally makes trips totally different than traveling. As I've traveled alone before. I traveled in Asia alone. But like, even with traveling with another adult, there's just something in their reactions that makes things more enjoyable. Seeing things through a child's eyes and seeing like the little things. Like, I am a teacher, and field trips, as much of a pain in the butt there are like little things like riding on the bus that the students are just thrilled about, and it's exciting because of how thrilled they are. Little things like, oh my gosh, there's a big truck. Like, those little things make not even just traveling, but like road trips even much more magical. And I don't know, I would like to travel more when I have money again, and I would rather do that with a child and enjoy sights through their eyes and through their innocence and whatnot. And they tend to slow you down a bit. And like, sometimes in a bad way, but also in a good way, to make you just like chill out and like live in the moment and be more mindful and whatnot. Like, they would stop and look at a flower for like hours, kind of thing. That just makes travel different. Number 2, going to places. And like, there's not like every place, but kids movies. I have gone to kids movies by myself. I have gone to kids movies with other adults. But going to kids movies with kids, just a little bit more, makes a little more sense. And also, again, the whole seeing their reactions. Going to a kids movie by yourself or with another adult, you don't get those kind of magical moments that you get with a kid and the excitement that the kids have. Especially if it's like a character movie that they absolutely love, and to see their excitement and whatnot is just something totally different. Parks, as a single adult, I can't just go and hang out at a park. I mean, I could, but these days, single people hanging around a park full of kids, it's kind of frowned upon. I could bring Taylor, but then again, that might be bad too. There is a new park opening up close to my house, like walking distance to my house, and it makes me sad that I can't go play at it. There's also like the splash pads and the library activities and like swimming, all those kind of things. Like, as a single adult, not so fun to do by yourself, a little more fun if you have a kid to go with. Some of the library activities I can't even go to because you have to have a kid with you, and it's like, but I really want to go to toddler story time. So stuff like that, or some of their art activities, it's like, you have to be between these ages, and it's like, but I'm too old. Even they have like, our library has movie night too, and it's all ages. But for me to go, again, as a single adult, to go to their movie night, when I lived in Ontario, I had people that had kids, and I knew a lot of people with kids and friends with kids, and I would borrow kids. So it's like, hey, I want to go see this movie, can I borrow your kid? Hey, I really want to go to the indoor playground, can I borrow your kid? And I borrowed a lot of kids from like when I was a teenager until I moved to Alberta. People let me borrow kids, and it was great. Special events like parades and festivals and stuff like that. It is coming summertime. Canada Day celebrations. I live in Canada. Those kind of things. We have a parade coming up in June. We have a lot of festivities coming up in June. We have like our farmers markets and stuff like that. That, yeah, I could go by myself, but to go and just be there is different than like taking a kid and there's like bouncy castles and like fun activities, face painting and whatnot, and all those fun things that as a single adult for me to go, I probably wouldn't stay very long. And I couldn't get my face painted. And I can't go in the bouncy castle. And yeah, like the Canada Day celebrations and stuff like that. I will be in Edmonton for Canada Day. So if you live in Edmonton, let me know what's going on. Canada Day, preferably something that you can bring a dog to. But yeah, so like there's stuff like that that like I would leave Taylor at home and I would take a kid. I do bring Taylor to some things because I don't want to go by myself. Although in Edmonton I'll have my brother with me. But even like Veg Fest in Calgary is in June, and I don't really want to go. I want to go, but I don't want to go because I don't want to go by myself. I asked them last year if I could bring Taylor, and they said yes, but then I didn't end up going. Whereas I would go out more if I had a child because I would take them with me, and we'd have a fun day. Number 4, when I have time off. So like spring break, winter break, summer, all those times that I have off, and I don't tend to do a lot. Mind you, I'm broker than broke, but even the free stuff that I could go to, I just don't feel like going to when it's just me. I just don't have that motivation. Last summer, I had surgery, so of course I physically couldn't do a whole lot. But like summer, I don't even want to travel by myself very much. I really don't. Like, it's just not as fun than taking a kid. During like spring break and winter break, they always have tons of activities going on for the kids, like family skates, free family skates, free family activities at the rec center, and family swims, and they have like swimming movies playing while swimming kind of thing. And it's like, to go by myself or to go with another adult. I shouldn't say by myself, but there's some things that I could go with another adult, but it's still not the same as having a kid with you. And I think that I spend a lot of time at home because I don't want to go by myself, even just for like a walk. Taylor is hard to walk because there's a lot of dogs here that are not on leash. So I'd have to go to a certain area to take her for a walk, whereas like me and my daughter could just go out the front door and go for a walk to the park, or walk around the neighborhood, or walk to the library, or whatever, right? It's not something that I really want to do by myself, and again, the whole park's as a single adult thing. Last but not least, pretty much all the time. Like I mentioned in my last video about like there's certain things that obviously are easier without a child, but most things are just better like with children, like meal times and bedtimes and like all those routines and watching Disney movies and just having a little one there. Like, if you are not a parent and you are not someone who wants to be a parent, then I cannot describe to you the feeling of just having children with you. I am with children 5 days a week for 6 hours. And there's just something about children that they have this just magic to them, that they show us a different side of things, and they make us slow down. Mind you, yes, there's bad times. I have lots of temper tantrums. I don't have temper tantrums. I deal with lots of temper tantrums. I deal with behavior issues. I am not saying that parenting is this magical thing that nothing ever goes wrong and everything is so easy. I just mean that there's just something that having a child in your life adds to your life that nothing else could. There's times that I think, oh, if I had a husband, maybe some of this stuff would be a bit easier, like traveling, because I would at least have someone to travel with consistently. I do travel with my brother, but it's not always consistent, that he has money. I mean, right now I don't have money, but he also lives in a different province kind of thing too. And also, it's not the same as if you have a husband, so, or a partner in general. So there's times that I think if I had someone else, like a partner to go with, and he could be with me, maybe some stuff would be easier, but we still wouldn't go to the park together. We still wouldn't go. We would probably go to some of these activities, but we still can't go in the bouncy castle together. We still can't get our face painted together. There's just certain things like that just, you need a child to, I don't want to say live through, because we shouldn't be living through our children, but there's just certain things that, like, having that child adds that, just that something extra to your life. And like having like those bedtime routines where like you just like wind down and then you deal with them not sleeping for hours. But I don't know, just those little moments of knowing that that little person is part of you, even if they're not genetically related to you, they are part of you, and they are going to grow into a person, and you have influence over that. And I don't know. I honestly just don't know how to describe it. It's like people that say, well, why do you want to be a mom? It's like, I can't explain it. I just can't. There's just something about children that just pulls on my heart. And as much as I love my students, and if my journey ended and I didn't have a child, I would survive, but it's still, there'd always be something missing. And there's just, here are 5 times where I feel like something's missing. And other than the 5 times that I talked about in my last video, all the flippin' time do I feel it's missing. I just think that like there's just something about kids that makes every part of your day different. Anyway, I hope that made sense. 2 more videos as the Choice of Motherhood, and that is the end of the Choice of Motherhood. I hope you subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned for more videos next week, and then we are, well, I guess 3 videos left because I'll post a weight loss one on Wednesday. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I shall see you guys on Monday. Bye guys.